Some people have ideas, a few carry them into the world and make them happen. These are the innovators. Now we have one such wonderful personality who best exemplifies the quote. We are delighted to invite Mr. Karl-Alexander Seidel, CEO and Head of Daimler Bus India, Daimler India. He started his career at Daimler in 2001. Karl-Alexander Seidel is a highly competent commercial vehicles manager with many years of India-related experience from our bus business in Chennai. He has made a significant contribution to building up our Indian bus production activities by implementing corresponding supply and logistic flows, as well as corresponding quality management. Since 2014, he has been working for Daimler in India, where he was initially responsible for powertrain supplier management. Between then and 2014, held a variety of management functions in the fields of reporting, business development, product planning, and homologation, mainly in Daimler's commercial vehicles division, as well as TASIAP GmbH in Stuttgart. Between 2016 and 2017, he was in charge of the logistics, supplier, and quality management department at Daimler Buses in India before assuming his current function in 2017. In this function, he is responsible for the development, production, and sales of Bharat-Benz buses, Mercedes-Benz luxury coaches, and bus chassis for India, as well as exports of bus chassis and fully built buses to the markets of Africa, Latin America, Middle East, and Southeast Asia. Since then, he has headed various functions, including logistics, supply and quality management, and operations at Daimler Buses India. So, without any further ado, I would like to welcome Mr. Karl-Alexander Seidel to give his valuable insights for us today. Over to you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you for this lovely introduction. Wonderful good morning, dear professors and dear students. Listening to my CV, I'm deeply impressed how much you can tell about my life. Wow. But I'm not here today to speak about my career. I'm here today to give you an introduction and welcome you to your student life in college. So, as you have heard, I'm the head of Daimler Buses, and as such, I also have once studied, and I studied engineering, as you do. And if you see what can come out of the studies in the end, no, not almost in the end, well, I was here from 2006 to create the ground for a company called Daimler India Commercial Vehicles, and the result is where I'm currently working in a company which invested 10,000 crores and who is occupying round about 6,000 people directly and another 20,000 associated with suppliers and dealers. So this is what you can achieve if you do your studies right. So I think you have chosen a very, very good university or college. SRM is one of the best colleges I've ever seen all over the world. I had the opportunities to see the SRM facilities here in Chennai. I was also there for several events, and this is a great campus. And I looked at the website of your campus, and I must say, I'm really deeply impressed. So be proud to be part of this institution and make something out of that. Well, dear students, you have had already one success. You graduated in your career in high school. Now you have been high scores so that you can be admitted to the SRM University. And this success, you should definitely celebrate. There's time in celebration, there's time for studying. So use the time for celebration, but then concentrate on studies. I know it's tempting. You are the first time out from home, not anymore with the caring parents. You can enjoy your life, and this is very, very tempting. I know that. And I remember my university days, I really partied a lot. But let me tell you, I also lost 1 year in my studies because of that. So therefore, I repeat, there is time for celebrating and partying, but there is also time for studying. Pursue your career in the university, in the college, and do not waste your time as I did. There are very, very much challenges by being on your own. You are now in the first step of taking your life in your own hands and enjoy that. It's a journey that just started, which will be the entire life a journey. But I guess you will enjoy it. Well, how was I in my youth affected to engineering? Well, honestly, I was always fascinated by technique. So as a 3-year-old boy, I loved to dismantle everything which came into my mind. It was be the radio, the television, or any technical equipment. I wanted to know what is behind these topics. I dismantled it and put it all into pieces. Unfortunately, at that age, I couldn't reassemble it, so my dad had to help me. But in the later pursuit, I also understood how to make other things out of the parts that I disassembled. And this brought me to the affection for engineering. And later on, when I got to know about the vehicles and the automotive business, I was really in love with automotive. Not because they are cool passenger cars. No, it was just I wanted to do better than what is currently in the market. When I was in university, we had emission norms that are Euro 2 and Euro 1. So the cars were stinky and loud. And I thought, I want to do this better. Look around. Now we have Euro 6. The cars are producing better air than before. And this is where I contributed. And now I come to you. In our days, we have quieter cars, but they're still emitting emissions. It's on you now to do something good for the environment and for the people. And when you are ready, do something in terms of zero emission. Do something for the sustainability of this planet. And this is the message one that I want to give you. You have not only the fun part in your studies, you have also an obligation. And the obligation is to do something more out of what you get as a gift in terms of learning. Do something good for the humanity, do something good for the environment. Second topic that I want to give you. There, I have to tell you a small story. There was a prime minister. No, it was a president, I think, from India, who was former head of the space department. You have to help me. I think it was Mr. Kamal.
Hello.
And right.
Abdul Kalam.
Correct. Thank you. So he once had a visitor, the current prime minister at that time, and he was a little bit late for the meeting because he was just talking to a janitor, and the prime minister was very, very upset about that. And he asked the head of the space department, "What is so important with the janitor that you let me wait?" And the guy said, "Well, this janitor helps me to put satellites in the space. So it's important to talk to him." Lessons learned. Second message that I want to give to you. Take care of the people around you. Each and every person is important. Build your network, build your strength and other people's friendship. Only together as a team, you can win. There is a quote which I want to give you. Network is your net worth. And this is what I want to give you as a second lesson. Well, when I was in university, there was the time of the personal computers coming up, the PCs, and there are a lot of new jobs created, but also a lot of jobs were killed. So there was an uncertainty in these times. What will I do after my studies? But nevertheless, I pursued my studies and I grabbed an opportunity where new jobs were created. At that time, it was at Porsche, so this famous luxury sports car manufacturer. And I could go into new fields. You face the same problem right now. You don't know if the jobs that are currently offered in the market will be valid in 3 or 4 years. We have artificial intelligence, machine learning, everything's coming up. But trust me, a lot of new opportunities also will come up with the new technologies. And I'm sure that you will have the opportunity to contribute. The third lesson, or the third message I want to give you: don't fear to fail. What I have experienced, I made a lot of failures in my life, but I have grown with these failures, because out of every failure, you have a lessons learned and you can do it better. So therefore, don't fear to make failures. Failures make you progress even better. And there's another famous Indian who had a famous quote. He said, if you win, you can lead. If you fail, you can guide. So each other, you have something positive in it. And therefore, don't fear to fail. Just pursue whatever is in your mind. Well, and what else can I give to you? Well, you will feel during your studies a lot of pressure and heat. The professors will ask you to really learn hard, to become better, to have high grades. And sometimes you will feel, oh my God, do I really need to have this pressure? Would be better to have just a happy life, just a simple job, but enjoying life. This is what Jen said once. You want to enjoy life. But I tell you, every transformation goes along with heat or with pressure. Think of a small piece of coal. If you put enough pressure on it and a lot of time, out of this coal, something beautiful evolves. This is called a diamond. And therefore, pressure and heat are necessary to become a better you. So therefore, fourth lesson, be patient, be persistent, and you will grow bigger and faster than you ever thought. And now, I would like to come to my end of the speech before we come to questions from your end. I want to give you a fifth message. You have two whispers in your head. You have Mr. Consciousness and you have Mr. Institution. And what I want you to do is, I want you to follow what Mr. Intuition says, because he tells you what you could do, and Mr. Consciousness will tell you what you should do. So therefore, follow Mr. Intuition and become the better you. With that, I wish you all the best in your college career and afterwards. And now I'm open for questions.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. It was a delight listening to you. My dear students, sir has permitted us to ask him questions. You could type in the Q&A box and your questions will be taken up. There are a couple of questions. The first one, sir, it says, sir, what are the requirements you would look for a person to join in your organization?
Well, the basic requirement, of course, is that you know what you have studied. So engineering is the basis. So therefore, I don't talk about what qualities of engineering I want to have. I talk about the personal skills. And in order to be hired in our company, besides the technical skills, we want to have people who have a vision, who are creative, who have pioneering spirit, want to do something better and bigger. We want to have people who know how to work together with others, because I personally believe that teamwork is more than just working together. Teamwork should lead to co-creation. In co-creation, I can bring it to a very simple formula. If you have 1 + 1 + 1, much more than 3, then you have co-creation, then you have a team. So that is in a nutshell what we want from our people.
Thank you, sir. Sarayu is saying, sir, being a CEO is certainly not easy. It's a leadership position. So what are the qualities we can inculcate in ourselves to be a responsible leader for a team in the future?
Well, in general, a responsible leader takes care of his people. So therefore, you have to be really people-oriented. That is the general quality of a leader. For that, you need empathy, you need personal mindset, you need also creativity in finding out what can be done. But this is towards the leading people. In order to have a position, a leadership position like a CEO, you also need to have a broad experience. You will not become a CEO just after college and then be very successful. A lot of startups have been created during university times, and the 80% of these startups fail because the CEOs, former students, have not just the experience what to do. If they grab a team together with experienced guys, then they survive. But if you just say, well, I have a great idea, I want to market that, and I'm the CEO, you tend to fail. So experience is very, very important. Second, don't rely only on your engineering skills. Being a CEO has also the fields of sales, of finance. You need to have human resource skills. You need negotiation skills with suppliers. So you have to have knowledge about all the processes that are ongoing in a company. You need not to be the expert, but at least you should be able to judge what your people are doing. I think that's in a nutshell.
Yeah, thank you, sir. There's the next question which says, so what is the knowledge that I should acquire to develop vehicles which are going to be eco-friendly?
Well, basically, whatever is in engineering will contribute to an eco-friendly environment in the future. So if it is something in machinery, if it's in automotive, in electronics, wherever you are, you can contribute to eco-friendly products. So therefore, just pursue your studies that you have chosen right now, and then choose the right company and job later on. This is more important than what you learn now. What you learn now are the basics. And the professors, please bear with me. What I learned in university was my base knowledge about engineering and how I can learn in general quick more topics. And this was for me much more important than really the engineering basics, because now I learned how I can increase my knowledge, particularly when it's required in special fields.
Thank you, sir. The next question is, sir, could you share one of the challenges you faced in your career?
Challenges that I faced in my career. Well, the challenge that I faced was recently the COVID situation. That was a challenge of everybody.
Yes.
Specifically for me, that is a challenge personally, because my parents are in Germany, I'm in India, and I haven't seen them now for 1.5 years. So that is a personal challenge, as I'm a family man. So I love my parents and used to see them every 3 months with a travel to Germany. I could not do that. But this is on the personal front. On the professional front, the COVID has impacted especially my company very hard, because nobody is currently using a bus. Obviously, buses are very crowded, specifically here in India. So there is the spread of the virus is immediate. So therefore, in public transportation, buses are rarely used. Intercity travel was not possible because of lockdowns. The companies worked from home, so no staff buses were used. Schools are closed, no school buses are used. So therefore, the complete bus industry dropped down by 94% last year, and it's only slowly recovering. So therefore, this hit my company very hard. And the challenge was, how do I keep my company alive without having the big revenues? B, how do I keep my people motivated? Because they saw, well, the industry is crashing, what will be our future? So they saw also that our production was slowed down. So to keep the people motivated was also a big challenge. And how I did this was very simple. I created a program and I called it, and don't laugh please, Mahabharat. I compared my company with a Mahabharat. I said, see, there are 5 brothers. This is our leadership team. I'm the Arjuna and the others are my brothers. And you all are part of our team, of our group, of our army. And now the challenge that we have is the COVID, and we have to gain back our kingdom. And the Mahabharat was 18 days. So let's assume the pandemic will go 18 months, but now let's grab these 18 months and let's fight for every single step forward. And this is what the team grabbed up and really put them motivated. And they were very creative in grabbing examples out of the Mahabharat and created then sub-projects named as per these stories. And this is what the team kept motivated. So that's
amazing, amazing. So the modern Mahabharat certainly is a twist out here. Amazing. So the next question, which is coming your way, is what are the reasons you think you would contribute for your success?
The reasons that contributed to my success. Well, I would say 20% was personality. I would say 20% was knowledge and experience, and 60% was just luck. I was at the right time, in the right moment, at the right place, and met the right people.
How do you see the future of electric vehicles in India?
I see the future of electric vehicles in a great extent. See what we are currently facing. If you look in the automotive industry, we have 2-wheelers, 3-wheelers, passenger cars. We have buses, trucks, all around in all ranges. And what we see currently as a trend is that a lot of 2-wheelers are sold as electric 2-wheelers. The small scooters are tending to go into electric. So therefore, the 2-wheelers and the 3-wheelers are the ones who are the front runners in terms of electrification. But what we also see is that besides electric, also other technologies like natural gas is a trend that comes. So therefore, we have to look what are the technologies of the future, in which segment, and what is the best for each segment to survive. So what I see, I don't see a 100% electrified automotive industry in the future in India. I see a diversification. I see that we will have diminishing petrol and diesel engines in all segments, but they will still exist in small quantities till 2030, 2040. In 2-wheelers, I see the majority going towards electric. In 3-wheelers, I see 50% electric, 50% or 40% CNG, LNG. Passenger car, we will have to look. There will be hybrids, there will be electric. Maybe we will see also fuel cell vehicles. The portion of natural gas, I don't think that this will cross 15-20% till 2030, 2040. So in the time frame 2030, 2040. If you look at the light commercial vehicles, 3.5 ton, they will be either electric or they will be natural gas. I don't see them as fuel cell. If we go to the range till 9-10 ton, there I see the majority in natural gas and in electric. A few will go into diesel still. If you go then to the higher range of commercial vehicles, so the 12 to 50 ton, there I see only a small portion in natural gas. The majority will be electric, and we will see there from 2025 onwards a growing fuel cell trend as well. And in buses, similar. If you look at the small buses, the intercity buses, city buses, there will be a big portion will be electrified, and a small portion will be natural gas. in more heavy duty applications like intercity buses or luxury coaches, there I see more the trend towards fuel cell and electric. So that in a nutshell, to the original question, I see electric is the future of India, but only one part of the future. We will have other technologies as well.
That's going to take some time. So the next question which is coming your way is, how has your experience been so far in India?
Great. So what shall I say? Well, I came here 2006 in January and had the task to establish a project team to explore what can Daimler as a global company do in India. As 2005, we have only sold 65 vehicles in a market of 260,000. So that was very disappointing. So I assembled a team and explored what we can do. And the first impression that I got by assembling the team was, wow, I have a lot of entrepreneurs interested in working with me. Because the spirit that I found here in India is each of you have entrepreneurial thinking. You want to do something big and want to make money out of that. The second impression was that all the guys were very, very cost conscious. They said, well, we have to look how we can become cheaper in order to be competitive. Also, this very creative guys I really loved. The third impression of India was at the same time when I experienced the great food in Delhi. I really love the North Indian food, but unfortunately, after enjoying it, I was 3 days sick with Delhi belly. So that was my third impression. And then over time, of course, I gained a lot of more experiences. It would take too much time to go into details right now, but from 2006 till date, with a small break in between where I was back in Germany, I really loved to get to know all parts of India. I traveled a lot, especially when I was supplier management. I was, from business purpose, forced to go into all parts of India. And I get to learn all the cultures, all the differences in the people of India. And this is what I find fascinating and why I love to stay here in India even further, because there's not one day where you cannot explore something new. And this is what the charm of India is for me.
Thank you, sir. The next question is, so why the costliest cars give the least mileage than the moderate ones?
Well, this is a thesis where I would like to create an antithesis and say the mileage, I would say the costliest cars are not the cars with the lowest mileage, but the costliest cars are the cars with the best TCO, the total cost of ownership.
All right, Aditya, I guess that answers your question. How can you always be motivated? That's the next question.
Who tells you that I'm always motivated? also, I have times where I'm just overwhelmed by what is happening, and where I say, "Oh my God, how can I do this now?" And then I have my times where I'm demotivated and thinking, "Okay, the best would be the sky would come down and everything would be over." But what always brings me up again then is that I think whenever there is something down, there must be a reason for that. And the reason I have to find out. And then I can overcome this situation. This is how I motivate myself and say to myself, well, even if the worst happening, there is a way out and you have just to find it. If this takes 1 hour, 1 day, 1 month, or even longer, doesn't matter. Work on that and you will find it out. And of course, if you're depressed, what also helps, and now I come a little bit to the Indian culture, if you practice yoga and meditation, this brings you in a state which helps you to overcome depression and bad thoughts very, very well. So that also helps me, besides this move towards find a solution.
Wonderful, wonderful, sir. Next question is, sir, your thoughts on the driverless cars?
Driverless cars or autonomous driving. Well, I worked on the framework to make this happen when I was in Germany, responsible for homologation for Mercedes-Benz commercial vehicles. 2009, when I went back to Germany, we created a group in Geneva with all automotive manufacturers around the globe. Besides China, they were not part of that, but the rest of the world was part of that, also India. Tata was part of that. And we discussed what are the chances and the risks of autonomous driving. And the biggest topic was we wanted to make a regulation which allows autonomous driving, but ensures that the autonomous driving vehicles are safe enough to not endanger passengers or pedestrians or other participants in the traffic. And we discussed that until I left and I came back to India 2014 without a finalization. And I was very, very happy to see that in 2018, this regulation was brought into act, and that in the same time, the first autonomous driving vehicles were coming into the markets. And from my perspective, this is one aspect, the autonomous driving vehicles, which we will see more and more coming globally. What is important is that you have a stable infrastructure for that. And I don't want to be offensive, but looking at the crowded cities of Delhi, Chennai, Hyderabad, Bombay, Bangalore, I don't see autonomous driving vehicles soon coming to these cities. But I could imagine that we have autonomous driving vehicles on the highways. So for the big hubs, then delivery, or that we see especially inside plants or mines coming these autonomous driving vehicles coming up. Will this come in the next 1-2 years? I don't think so. Will this have to wait till 2040, 50? Absolutely not. So therefore, it's up to you to come up with solutions that are affordable, that are safe, and that we can implement. And then I invite you all to come up with the solutions, join my company, and make us the autonomous driving happen in India.
Look forward to it, sir. The next question, sir, is engineering knowledge enough to develop and market vehicles, or is there anything else which I should concentrate on? That's the question by one of the students.
See, developing vehicles is not the result of only one guy. You always work in a team. So therefore, engineering is one part. And you need also the inputs of other functions. You need to understand what is customer needs, what are the customer requirements, what are the costs. So you need financial topics, etc. But you as a person do not need everything by yourself. But if you ask me, how do I grow my career within the automotive industry in order to be successful in developing a car? For example, you want to become the chief engineer of the car of the future. Then what I would recommend is that you build up a so-called T qualification. What is a T qualification? Well, you have the deep knowledge and you are the expert in one particular field. There you dig very deep. And to gain knowledge on all other fields in the broad spectrum. It's then creating a T. And this enables you to evaluate and to speak with all the functions that are around you, like finance, procurement, supply management, you call it, without having the deep knowledge as them. And you are the expert in one particular field where you can then guide the others. So therefore, I would recommend to look really left and right to other faculties, but being one expert in your particular field.
Thank you, sir. The next question is, sir, your thoughts on Tesla vehicles?
Tesla vehicles.
Yes, sir.
Great cars. I love the Tesla vehicles. And they're really front runners in many technologies. I just give one example. They had already in 2006 the update over the air. So they had a failure in the wiper motors of their wipers, And they calculated what would it mean if they would exchange this with a recall all across the US to exchange all the wipers, because there was a danger that the wiper flies off because of the velocity of the motor. So they calculated and they came up with several $1 million. And then one small engineer said, why do you want to exchange the hardware? Let's just regulate the speed of the motor via our software. And this we can do with an update via the air. So over the air update. And then we can do this within a couple of hours. We need not such time and we need not such money. Let's do that. And then this is just prevented and we can inform the EPA, this is the authority, that we have this issue, but we have already solved it. And this was exactly how they did it. And this was the first time ever that a recall was handled just over the air in a couple of hours like that without huge cost. Now, you see exactly this procedure in all other automotive companies as well. Even Mercedes has it now, but Tesla were the first. So they're really pioneering. And they are currently the most expensive company in the world in terms of automotive. And this within a couple of years. And if you have some money left, I would recommend you to invest in the stakes of Nikola. This is the truck manufacturer of Tesla. They might be the second revolution. But
very well put, sir. Very well put.
I cannot recommend to invest in my company because this is against the antitrust. So therefore, I'm not allowed to make the advertisement for stakes of my company. So therefore, I make advertisement for Tesla.
Thank you, sir. The next question which is coming your way is, sir, could you kindly tell us some mantras to be more productive and more effective in our life?
Mantras to be more productive. Well, the biggest mantra is have a good working together of your mind and your soul and your body. So mind, body, soul, this trinity, this you have to maintain, which means take care of your nutrition, make sports, do something for your mind, do meditation or whatever. Do something good for your mind and learn, never stop learning. And finally, find time to also relax and have fun.
Thank you, sir. Could you share a nostalgic memory, perhaps, from your engineering days, college days?
A nostalgic memory from my engineering days. Well, this is hard. It's a long time back. Well, I have to pass on. Currently, there is not a nice story that I can share, which where I'd say this is coming immediately. Maybe
right.
later on I have something, but spontaneously, no.
Right, sir. Thank you so very much, sir, for taking the questions from our students. And now our Honorable Vice Chancellor, sir, is also along with us here today. So may I request sir to say a few words?
So thank you, Devati. On behalf of the entire SRM University, I would like to express our gratitude for the excellent talk, followed by wonderful question-answer session. In fact, your talk has generated so many interesting questions on which you have given very good answers, inspiring answers. So I must say it is not only a scintillating talk, very inspirational for these budding engineers. In fact, I'm reminded of my visit, 4.5 months visit to Mannheim, Germany, way back 22 years ago, where we were taken to various industries, mainly Daimler facilities, including East Germany at that time, I do not know whether there was a facility. I'm trying to recollect. Where we were impressed in all these, not only these industries, many other industries we were taken. It is the perfection of the workers and the discipline that has really ensured the quality of German products. That's what we learned. I think it was mainly because of the TVET. That is, I think, for the benefit of others, you know what is TVET, Technical Vocational Education Training. So many two people from each country were invited, and they have showcased the TVET systems in Germany. Actually, throughout your speech, okay, I being reminded of that discipline, that perfection of be it the engines or the bus body facilities or whatever it is. Even when they are laying roads, so it was the perfection. So it is the hard work, okay? It is the patience and the persistence that you have talked about, what they should have. One of the messages that you have given, be persistent, be patient. And also you have mentioned very nicely that network is your net worth. So all of us must remember networking is important. In the next 4 years, when you are here, you should now start. Maybe for various reasons, you have been working only on very narrow areas in the past, because your aim was only one thing, to get into engineering education, computer science and engineering. He has nicely mentioned the T knowledge. It is like this, what he is mentioning, that you should have the breadth of various subjects, and at the same time, we should go deep into particular one, how important it is for your success. So this university, Mr. Karl, that we lay emphasis on broad-based education while giving enough scope, being a research-intensive university. We are multidisciplinary, so that they have got enough opportunities to learn from other disciplines through various platforms like open electives and project-based learning, be it capstone project or be it internship or be it undergraduate research opportunity program. They get wonderful opportunities to get hands-on experience like what your German students get by spending time, weekends. I think for the benefit of everybody in Germany, so they go to school and at the same time, they also go to the industry. When they go to the industry, they learn online experiential learning. Okay, so in a similar way, so here we provide enough opportunities for our students through online research internships. If you can really help us with any of those best companies, best facilities where our students can have this online experience. So we, being a multidisciplinary research intense university, we try to provide the T knowledge, what you have been emphasizing. And we have got excellent collaborations with UC Berkeley, where the students get opportunity to spend semester abroad, 1 semester. Maybe we can also work out if such type of opportunities exist in the German universities like Karlsruhe, where I visited Karlsruhe, which is very close to Mannheim. Whatever that you can help us, be it industries for research internships or the other opportunities. You have given wonderful mantra of Trinity, mind, soul, and body, and the importance of meditation and yoga. That's why we are going to introduce very soon credit system for co-curricular activities. So where they can register for a 1 credit course in yoga and meditation, or for music, drama, for various or sports, for building their body. For all these things we are going to create. So as you mentioned, for the success, it is not only technical skills. In addition to that, you have correctly emphasized the importance of the team spirit and interpersonal skills. How do you really take care of your people as a leader? Okay, with empathy. So you have nicely driven all these points. We are indeed very grateful for giving this inspirational talk to all our students. So at the same time, I would like to request you, if you can make it comfortable after this COVID situation improves, to make a physical visit to our campus and address all the 4,500 students, if not all of them physically, because auditorium can accommodate only, I think, 30-40% of them, the remaining through online. We would like to invite you. We would like to have you here to address all our faculty and inspire our faculty and students with your great experience. Thank you once again.
Thank you, Professor Rao. And my proposal would be, I come to your university and we are not bound to go into the auditorium. Let's go under the sky. Let's have some loudspeakers, and then let's all 4,000 students listen and see.
Amazing, amazing. So that's amazing. We certainly are looking forward to that session. Right. Now, may I request Mr. Vivekanandan, Associate Director Placements, to say a few words.
Hi, Mr. Karl.
Hi.
Thank you for accepting our invitation, that too instantaneously, in spite of your busy schedule. Thanks for being present today for this session. That was really an amazing speech. Our students are enlightened by your words. Thanks for that. I'm sure they have a lot of takeaways from your speech today. I'm really we are amazed that you have accepted our invitation instantaneously. That we didn't expect. Thanks for that. Once again, we would like to extend our gratitude for your time today with us. Thank you, sir. Thanks. Have a good day.
Thank you very much. It was my pleasure, and I love to take the opportunity always to be in contact with the future leaders of this country. And this is how I perceive all of your students. They are the potential leaders and the contributors to the future of India. And therefore, whenever you have a similar opportunity, please approach me again. I would love to do that.
Sure.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for the open invitation. Thank you, sir. May I now call on the MC to propose a vote of thanks?
Thank you so much, sir, for joining us here today and giving us all your valuable time and insights. I'm sure all the students listening will carry these lessons to their future endeavors. Thank you for sharing us various anecdotes and quotes on the importance of sustainable energy, teamwork, failure, and persistence. And thank you so much for taking time patiently to answer all our questions. Moreover, I would like to extend my gratitude towards our Honorable Vice Chancellor, sir, and all the other dignitaries who have joined us today. Thank you.
Thank you all.